terms of like ways that group can impact the game, or is there not an added pressure, but like, is there added focus on just trying to impact games to help the offense and defense?
I mean, I think Alex and Ryan are both off to good starts. Biggest thing that they can do is just stay within themselves and continue to do what they've done in the first couple weeks. I think Alex can be a weapon, in terms of affecting field position, and certainly turn the field over, a couple weeks ago in that game against Boston College. And, Ryan just got to stay consistent. He's doing a great job on his kickoffs, and when he has opportunity to score points, he's going out there and he's getting it done. So for those guys, I just want them to continue to build on what they're doing and help out in any way they possibly can. But they can only stay within themselves to be able to be the best that they can be.
Oregon.
Coach shared the sad news about Jaylin being out. How does that change your guys' return picture going forward?
Yeah, first off, I hate it for him because he's worked really hard and invested a lot into what this was going to be. So anytime something like that happens, you hate it for him and what he has to go through. But we have capable guys back there. So if you look at punt return, I think Malik and Luane are going to be the two guys that we kind of turn our attention to and our focus to. And then in the kick return game, we have guys that can do it, but Deuce obviously has done it before and been really good for us. So we're going to evaluate that as this week goes and kind of see where what kind of decisions we come to at the end of the week. But I think I feel confident in both those units to be able to go out there and be effective with either person that's back there in punt return and the group of guys that could be back there in kick return.
Chris?
Setting the edge, game 1 to game 2, how did the group do, and what do they have to continue to improve upon?
I thought, generally speaking, from a physicality standpoint, I did see some progress in terms of how we played the run. And it's always kind of an interesting thing because the perception, obviously, from a defensive end standpoint is that your role and responsibility is an edge setter, but that's not necessarily always the case. I mean, in a lot of cases, our ends spill the ball, which means that they have an inside leverage on a puller. So, and some of those things it's hard to see without knowing what the schemes are and what they're being asked to do. But, I did think that from a physical standpoint, I saw a lot of progress in how we played some of those gap schemes, the counters. And when we played them well, we stopped them. There was still a couple times it got a little bit loose, which we need to continue to address and fix. But I do think, in the last 2 weeks or a week plus of practice that we've had, we are trending in the right direction in terms of making some of the improvement that we need to make and being better against the run.
Jordan?
Coach, I wanted to ask you about Byron Turner's 15-yard penalty on the touchback. What did you see happen, and then what do you tell a veteran like that when he makes a not so smart play?
It was a momentum changer in the game. We had just scored to go down one score game, and had a touchback, and it was one of those things that happened in full speed that I didn't even see it. It happened on the far sideline. I didn't see how it played out. Obviously grabbed an iPad and saw what happened. And the biggest thing is that in the moment, not allowing frustrations of the game or frustrations of the situation to ever take over. Because that's just a play that we can't have that set up some poor field position for us. And one that as a whole football team we need to learn from, because that's out of character for him. It's the first time I remember him getting any kind of undisciplined penalty in a situation like that. We just got to get better from it as a whole team.
For a lot of reasons, his name being one of them, but also the fact that he came from Georgia like Jermaine did. Like, I think people have these huge expectations for Marvin. How is he handling the start of his time here? Is he taking things from a big picture standpoint, or is he frustrated about how it's going?
Well, I mean, I think across the board, everybody, coaches, players, everybody involved in this program has a little bit of that frustration over how everything started. Marvin wouldn't be any different in that. I don't know that it has anything to do with anything other than he just wants to be the very best that he can possibly be. And one of the things that I want him and all of our guys to do is try to simplify a little bit. Go back to trying to have some fun playing the game. you can't change anything that's already happened at this point. You can learn from it, go out and be the best that you can possibly be, and if you can do that, you can live with that at the end of it. And that's what I want his focus to be, but really it's what I want all of our guys' focus to be.
Aslan?
I think for those first two games, there might have been like a combined 32 dropbacks from Boston College and Georgia Tech. Memphis seems to, I don't want to say maybe not as balanced, but is the opportunity there for maybe this pass rush that hasn't had the opportunity to affect the game, or are you guys seeing that as a potential opportunity to get into that team into negative plays and giving you guys more leverage?
Well, yeah, I think it's twofold. I think one part of it is, and something we talk about up front a lot is you got to earn the right to rush the passer, meaning we got to be able to stop the run on first and second down and put people in those situations on third down where we can rush the passer. So, we haven't dictated terms in the first two games like we want to, so that's part of it. And then from what an opponent's strength and what their kind of identity is, we've faced two teams that do have a run first, identity in what they do. As we get into our schedule, there will be teams that might be more of a throw identity teams coming into it that will give us more pass rushing situations. But bottom line is obviously we don't control what plays we're seeing. We got to put people in a situation where they feel like they have to throw the ball, and the only way you do that is to come out and stop the run early, and then when we have our opportunities, take advantage of them to rush the passer.
Ira?
A few years ago when you guys had a tough start to the season, one of the things Coach Norvell talked about was just keeping the same message to the recruits and the current players. Obviously, you guys had a couple hits. I know you can't speak specifically in recruiting, but how can you guys kind of fortify the message to the recruits and keep those guys? What were the conversations like this weekend, I guess?
I think the biggest thing with our current roster and also for the guys that you're recruiting is continue the message of the belief in what the values of this program are. It wasn't an accident that we went from where we were in 2020 to where we were in 2023, and to think that everybody in the program or the philosophy of what we're trying to get done has totally been lost is that's not real. Now, has this year started the way that we wanted to? Certainly not. But if you believe in what this program is about, if you believe in the culture, if you believe in the values, then let it play out a little bit and see. Because I believe in what this team can do. I believe in where this program can continue to head. And we got to right the ship. But the message to our players and to everybody that we want to have involved in the program is if you believed in it before, just have a little faith because we believe in what we're doing here.
Anything else for Coach?